I sat on Dad's lap, and the bus's bumps made us closer, but I never imagined after he woke up, he would whisper to me, Doris, don't stop. Hey Doris, take this bag. It'll make boarding quicker later. I turned my head. Daniel was handing me a small shoulder bag from behind. As I reached out and took it, he smoothly lifted the bigger, heavier backpack right off my shoulders. Daniel was my stepdad, a gentle, handsome man. He stood a few steps away from me, his forehead covered with a thin sheen of sweat. A few strands of brown hair brushing across the high bridge of his nose. Okay. I raised my hand and gave him the okay sign. Daniel flashed me a huge grin. I turned away and focused on the line, feeling my face burning hot in the sun. It was the last day of our beach trip. That afternoon, we had to catch the long-distance bus back to the city. Summer break was basically over, so the queue was insane. Mom was restless. She kept twisting in place, scanning everywhere for any chance to move forward. Okay, Shelly, relax. We're pretty far up. We should able to. Daniel tried to soothe her, but she wasn't hearing a word. Shut up, she cut in instantly. Can't you see how many people are still in front? What if we don't get seats? This is the last bus today. I glanced back. Daniel shrugged at me helplessly. Unlike chill Daniel, Mom was always wired. I tried to shoot him a sympathetic look, but honestly, his current appearance was too funny to ignore. His tall frame made even those cheap summer shirts and beach shorts look like runway outfits. Right now, though, he was loaded down with all our trip luggage bags hanging from both shoulders. Hands full and he still had that straw hat we bought roadside this morning perched on his head. But I have to say, looking at his athletic build, you'd never guess he wasn't young anymore. Every single time, like now, I'd wonder how my mom ever landed a man like Daniel. He looked like a player who just quit the soccer team. Hey, Doris, you're laughing at me again. Daniel caught my eye and raised a brow. Keep teasing and I'll ask your mom to switch tasks so I can bury you under all these bags. No chance. Mom won't let you. You're too tall. I'm way more flexible, and she couldn't carry this much anyway. Mom added, dead serious. I grinned wide and gave Daniel my full 8-tooth victory smile. Fine, ladies, you win. He raised both hands in surrender. His motion was light, looking like the bags not dragging him down at all. They just highlighted the strong muscles across his shoulders. I remembered last semester when he came with me to beach volleyball. His perfect plays and looks made my friends whistle and ask if he was my off-campus boyfriend. I always denied it. But honestly, I was daydreamed about finding someone just like Daniel. 2 minutes until departure. Every rider wanted a decent seat. Mom included. Push forward a little, she whispered. I followed, trying squeezing ahead but no luck. My small frame gave me zero power. I couldn't budge anyone. I tried several times, then finally decided to tell Mom I should switch tasks with Daniel. I could carry bags up in trips or wait below her anyway. But before I spoke, the crowd surged. The bus hissed like a battle cry. The wall of people that wouldn't move suddenly became a wave, sweeping me off my feet and onto the bus. Doris? Forward? Forward? Mom yelled from behind. Yes. I had no time to look back. I thrust both arms out and tried swimming forward. It was hopeless. I twisted with everything I had, slipping through every tiny gap, but every empty seat vanished the instant I spotted it. After fighting halfway down the aisle, I finally saw 3 free spots near the back. That's it. I dove for them. Right as I sat down, a plump, gray-haired old lady dropped into the seat beside me. I turned, still holding my bag, mouth open, staring at her. So this was the situation. When Daniel and Mom finally reached us, they found me sitting there, frowning. There were only 2 seats left, plus the one I'd saved by tossing my bag back at the last second. The old lady next to me was already dozing. I didn't have time, I muttered. I couldn't exactly ask her to move, she's really old. Mom said nothing, just sighed. Daniel shoved all the luggage onto the rack, then wrapped an arm around her shoulder, and patted twice. It's fine. At least we have 2 seats. We'll squeeze, it won't be long. Okay. Then can you sit in the back with Doris? Huh? Daniel and I spoke at the same time, but Mom's reason left no room for argument. If you two want to squeeze with the carsick one right by the only window, and deal with her vomit whenever it hits, she raised a brow at the window. I surrendered. Fine. I can stand, or, looks like we're squeezing Doris. Daniel was stowing bags overhead. He pointed at the small sign on the ceiling. Long distance bus. No standing. Thank God you're short, or we'd miss this one and catch the next. It would be tomorrow. That'd worse even more. Either way, Daniel and I ended up crammed together on the very last row. Luckily, it was a single seat in the corner, so the 2 of us sitting there didn't look weird. In the stuffy bus, I felt miserable no matter what. I kept shifting, hunting for a better position. Hey Doris, hold on a second. Daniel steadied me, then slid his legs together and stretched them forward. With a gentle lift, he pulled me closer into his arms. Now sit. I let myself slide down a little. It felt much better. I stretched my legs forward and finally cooled off a little. You always loved sitting like this when you were little. Still do, Daniel said with a smile, voice warm against my ear. I leaned my head back and found a comfy spot on his shoulder. A faint lemon soap scent drifted from him. Suddenly sitting there, didn't feel bad at all. Maybe because I'm still as short as I was back then, I mumbled. Daniel pulled out his phone and opened Snake. Wanna play together? He wrapped his arms around me from behind, head resting on top of mine. I shook my head. I'll just watch. So for the next hour, I watched him turn the little snake into a giant python on the screen. My eyelids grew heavy. Sunlight poured through the window, and I drifted off to sleep right there in Daniel's arms. A hard bump woke me. I yawned. My watch said 2 in the afternoon. The bus had gone quiet except for soft snores and engine hum. Mom sat up front, head on her neck pillow, asleep too. I rubbed my eyes, ready to doze again. But when I moved to get comfortable, I froze. I felt it under me. I stayed still for a long moment, maybe because I couldn't admit it. After all, how could this happen? I was wide awake. With each bus bounce, I could feel it. My brain stopped working. I had no idea what I was thinking. Doris, can you grab a light jacket from the bag? Mom called from up front, half turning and reaching a hand through the gap. Sure. I bent quickly, unzipped the backpack, and pulled one out. I straightened to hand it over, then sat back down. I started moving a little on instinct, clumsy, but unstoppable. My heart hammered. I blushed at Daniel's good looks, sure, but being with him on a bus was I'd never pictured. It was too unimaginable. I held my breath, almost unable to think. Mom was still up front. Her sickness kept her restless. She could turn any second. My breathing tightened. I couldn't stop wondering what it would feel like if we went further. The thought made me almost dizzy, and I began to tremble. Just try it once. No one will know. The tiny voice whispered deep in my mind. I looked around, lifted myself a little, then the bus hit a huge speed bump the very next second. I was jolted upward, and when I came back down, oh no, right against the top, but I realized the bump had woken other passengers, maybe Daniel too. Panic hit, but things were worse than that. While my mind had been running wild, I completely ignored the state I was in. There was probably already a mark on his clothes. I had no idea what to do now. I didn't dare move. I quietly shifted myself forward, pretending nothing had happened. Maybe I should find something to cover the spot, or wipe it somehow. My mind raced uselessly as I bent to reach for my bag. The next second, Daniel's hand settled on my waist. He stopped my forward shift, and pulled me right back. Doris? He whispered. Don't you hate this layer of fabric?